Ben Bernanke's testimony on the Hill dominating much of the trading today. The Fed chief tells Congress the economy is not yet in a recession, but urges quick, temporary fiscal stimulus. Here's Bernanke in his own words.
Recently, incoming information has suggested that the baseline outlook for real activity in 2008 has worsened, and that the downside risks to growth have become more pronounced. On the whole, despite improvements in some areas, the financial situation remains fragile. In light of recent changes in the outlook for and the risks to growth, additional policy easing may well be necessary. A fiscal stimulus package should be implemented quickly and structured so that its effects on aggregate spending are felt as much as possible within the next 12 months.
Okay, you heard it. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke said he's open to government action to forestall a recession. But what kind of action needs to be taken? Now with more, Laura Tyson, a senior fellow at the Center for American Progress, and Lakshman Achuthan, managing director of the Economic Cycle Research Institute. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Laura, based on what you heard, do you think Ben Bernanke has a full appreciation of the situation, and does he have control of it?
I think that he has appreciation of the situation. I don't think anyone can say that they have control of the situation, because we're facing a huge millions of foreclosures, declining property values. We're facing a break in market confidence. So really, to make prediction, to say you're in control is misleading. I think it is correct to say that there is the need for more policy easing. And he was saying both the Fed will do some more easing, and he supports the idea of having fiscal stimulus as well. So he's saying, let's use all of the macro tools we have right now to deal with the dangers to the U.S. economy.
Lakshman, if he does use all of those tools, do you think it is possible for him to forestall a recession at this point?
Yeah, I think there is a small window of opportunity inside this bigger window of vulnerability. And the clip you just showed, and I would echo much of what Dr. Tyson just said, except for this notion that this fiscal stimulus needs to hit in the next 12 months. The next 12 months is a lifetime in terms of the opportunity to forestall a recession. Something has to happen very, very soon, in a matter of weeks, not even months, if you want to break the self-reinforcing downturn that has begun. They really need to get that message through across all policy levels.
Yeah, Laura, a lot of people that were looking at the various tools today said that probably the soonest that the government could get money into the hands of Americans would be March. Is that soon enough?
Well, I think that would be quite remarkable. I think it's feasible, and I was very, very pleased to hear the interview with House Speaker Pelosi saying she hopes to get it done before the break for President's Day. If we have a bipartisan package with agreement on size and components, we can really get help into the economy in the next 6 months. We can get it in the first and the second quarter. The second quarter is a very vulnerable quarter. And so I think this was a lot of good news in terms of really having amazing administration, Fed, and bipartisan voices. We will do this.
Yeah. Turning to the banks and brokers, because Laura, you're on the board of Morgan Stanley, so I want to ask you, do you think they're doing enough to write down these CDOs aggressively enough? Are they doing enough to write to stay capitalized?
Well, I would say one of the things that in today's discussion has really been focusing on stimulus, but you know, there are some other proposals out there which I think are very important about dealing with the housing issue directly, and I think we're going to need to complement stimulus with something else, because we have rapidly increasing inventories, we have a record number of foreclosures, we have declining property values. That's driving these assets to levels no one knows what the value of these assets are, because essentially the rate of loss that has been realized so far is actually relatively small. This is all future. I think we actually need some additional policies.
But Laura, are the banks and brokers doing enough?
I think the banks and brokers are doing as much as they can to adjust their situation. Absolutely.
All right. Thanks to both of you for joining us. We're out of time. More on the Dow's triple-digit decline ahead, plus the housing market's problems now spreading beyond residential property. We have the details next.